Hey everybody, Doug the M-Tech here again. We're going to go over today rotary hook timing. What I may do is just actually pull this rotary hook completely out, and I'm going to put a different hook in here just to go through and show you how to time it up. So I took the liberty, I already took the 2 set screws out of the top here, top throat plate. Take those 2 set screws out, takes your throat plate off. 2 set screws on the side cover, and this should slide right off. And from here, take this set screw out. Just loosen this one up. We don't need to take it out, just to be able to get that rotary hook out. And then from the side, let's see if I can get you a better side view here. So all 3 of these need to be loosened to take this off. There's one. There we go. So as you can see, these are loose. Now I can take this rotary hook completely out. Let me down my screwdriver here. Get it past the picker there. And we can take that one out. Take our bobbin case out as well. So there we go, there's our rotary hook. Basket is a Teflon basket, and it's got this notch right here. That's what this basically does, is hold this in place. That little notch cut out. So when this rotary hook spins, it's like that. So the basket stays in place and this turns. So if you get a lot of needle breaks, thread breaks, things like that, timing could be off. You could have a burr or a scratch from a needle break right here. It would be on this edge. Use your nail to run along this edge. If you find a scratch or burr, your nail will catch on it. And then you can take, as long as it's not too big of a burr or scratch, you can take some sandpaper, like 600, 800 grit. It's like a black wet sanding paper. Don't get it wet, but use it dry, and you can polish it till it's smooth. Check it again till you finally get it smooth, and then you could probably reuse this hook. You can do it with it on the machine by rotating the hand wheel, finding the spot, polishing it. You don't have to take the hook off to do that, but in this video I'm going to change the hook anyway. So I'm going to put a metal base, and this is an eccentric hook, and this actually has a small hole in it, which is an oil tank. So when I oil my rotary hook, I can use my needle pen oiler, put it in the hole, fill up my oil tank, and then that'll be full of oil for running my embroidery machine. Alright, so from here we're going to try to put this one in. There we go. Get it on the shaft. And what I do is I bring my black bar in to hold the basket in place. So I'll kind of tighten this up. Not super tight or anything, but we'll just kind of snug it up so it's there in place. Okay. So as you can see, my rotary hook is loose. I can rotate this around where I want it, and while holding the basket in place with that notch that sticks out. And from here, what I will do is actually I'll kind of hold my rotary hook and use my hand wheel. I'll just keep turning my hand wheel till my needle starts to come down. There it comes. Let it come all the way down to its lowest point. Be a little better view here. So our lowest point is right there. So there's our flat spot. I'll start over. It comes from up here on the way down. There's our flat spot. That's at 180 degree. That's your bottom dead. So at 180 is bottom dead. And if you have the newer controller, you will see up here on your control panel it says main motor 180. So that's telling you right there that's bottom dead. And then what I'm going to do is rotate a little further on the uprise of our needle. It's coming up. We'll go to 200 degrees, and this is where we're going to do our timing. So this is where I'm going to match up the tip of my rotary hook directly behind my needle to set my timing. Now there's a little leeway in rotary hook timing. You can do 198 to 203 approximately. So there's a little leeway there. And as you can see, we have 200 main motor. So what now I'm doing right now is getting the tip of the rotary hook directly behind the needle, and then I use my screwdriver to press on the front of the needle to flex backwards. I want a small gap between the needle and the tip of that rotary hook. I don't want a large one, and I don't want it touching, but I want a small gap, about the thickness and a half of a thread. Alright, and so from here I tighten one set screw here to hold the rotary hook in place. So now it's not going to move. So here's the tip of the rotary hook back here. You want it flush with the needle, left side. So there's a small gap there now. Like I said, it's between back side of that needle. That's where your scarf or your needle is. So the scarf is there. That's where that tip of that rotary hook comes through that scarf on your timing. And like I said, 198 to 203 is areas that you can time your machine at. 200 is where they do it from the factory. Now if somebody has a Tajima or something like that, they could watch this video and do it too, because I believe Tajima is 201. A lot of machines are set at 201, and other machines have different degrees as well. So I have one set screw tight. What I'm going to do is rotate my hand wheel to find the other set screws, tighten those up. And you definitely want to make sure they're snug so they don't slip. There we go. And I know I tightened my first one, but I just double check tighten it again, make sure it's nice and snug. There we go. And then from here, what I check is my bar up top. You should have a small gap between the notch and the basket as well. So with this loose, I can move this front to back. And just like the rotor hook, we'll make sure this is snug so where this isn't moving on you. Okay, there we go. And from here, what I'll do is just hit my 100-degree icon, do a cycle. Thing looks good. I will actually go in and do a manual thread cut just to see the needle come down into the rotary hook area, make sure we don't break a needle, that kind of thing. Everything looks good there. And if you want, always double check your work before you try to sew anything. I'll just rotate it by hand again, bring it back down to 180, which is our lowest point right there, and then on the uprise back to 200, which is where we timed it, and there's 200. And I will try to grab a little screwdriver between the camera here and check my timing again, which everything looks pretty good there. And I will do the 100-degree icon again to kick that up. And there we go. And of course, being a brand new hook, rotary hook, I would oil my rotary hook up because it's being brand new. Sometimes they coat them with some stuff for shipping purposes, and I'll show you where this oil point is again. There it is. I rotated the hand wheel just a little bit to expose my oiling point on this basket. This is an oil tank, so what I'll do is I'll just fill up my oil tank before I run my machine here. And I recommend always just do a 100, cycle it around. So as you see, this is what an eccentric rotary hook does, because that's what this is an eccentric. So that means it's not circular, it's kind of egg shaped. So if I hit 100 degree, you'll see this kind of wobbly. That's an eccentric hook. Standard hooks are completely circular. Alright, so from here what we will do is we'll put it together. Okay, so from here I'll turn my laser light on, I'll do a trace, make sure my design is going to fit. So every 3 to 4 hours of use, you want to make sure you're oiling your rotary hook, which is what I just replaced here in this video. You can see this railing right here, it's kind of raised up. This is what you want to make sure you get oiled on your machine. Because if I turn this, you'll see little cuts. There they are. That's a cutout. Those little cutouts, they keep the oil in there, so as it's rotating, that helps keep it lubricated. So those are the points that you want to make sure you're getting oiled. So you can always rotate the shaft and then go from the side of your machine and make sure you get a little oil like right on here, so it runs down that rail. And then always hit your 100-degree icon to work that oil into those places. And again, that's every 3 to 4 hours of use. That's your daily point. You want to make sure you do that every day.